Thank you for viewing this short video on the current status, impact and future prospects of biotech crops, also called genetically modified or GM crops by some. On the 31st of October 2011, the 7th billionth person was born on this globe. The big challenge for the future is to double food, feed and fiber production by 2050, when we will have 9 billion people. Now, it is evident that conventional technology will not allow you to double food production, and neither are biotech crops a panacea. What I would like to do is touch on 4 topics. The adoption of biotech crops from 1996 to 2011. Second, the increased importance of developing countries in terms of biotech crops. Third, the impact of this technology over the 15-year period 1996 to 2010. And finally, future prospects in the near term, from now, 2012, until 2015, which is the Millennium Development Goal. Adoption in terms of biotech crops have been impressive by any standard. In 2011, we saw 160 million hectares planted around the globe, an increase of 12 million hectares over 2010, equivalent to 8%. 16.7 million farmers benefited from this technology in 2011, and remarkably, 90%, or 15 million of them, were small, resource-poor farmers in developing countries. From 1996 to 2011, there was a 94-fold increase in the hectarage of this technology. Why? Quite simply, it's because the technology has developed significant and substantial benefits to farmers around the world. If we look at the important trend of increased importance of developing countries, we can look at it in different ways. In 2011, for the first time ever, developing countries planted 50% of the total global hectarage, which was 160 million hectares in 2011. Growth was faster, and the actual increases were bigger in terms of hectarage. In developing countries, there was an 11% increase, equivalent to 8.2 million hectares, compared with only 3.8 million hectares, or 5% in industrial countries. And Brazil, for the 3rd consecutive year, had the highest increase between 2010 and 2011, a significant 4.9 million hectare increase. What about the impact of this technology in the 15-year period 1996 to 2010? What we see is an increase in production, which translates into economic gain. And that economic gain was $78 billion. If we look at the environment, there's also been a very important contribution. Biotech crops has decreased pesticide application to the tune of 443 million kilograms. And there's also been a significant contribution to climate change. Biotech crops have decreased CO2 emissions by 19 billion kilograms in 2011 alone. That is equivalent to taking 9 million cars off the road for 1 year. And last but not least, there has been a contribution to the alleviation of poverty and hunger. 15 million farmers and their families, totaling 50 million people, gained from this technology in 2011. About 50 million people have benefited from higher incomes, less exposure to pesticides, and a better quality of life. What can we say about the future, the near-term future, from 2012 until 2015, the Millennium Development Goal year? In summary, the pipeline is full of new and improved technologies. But let me just take 3 examples, important examples. The first is in 2012, we will see deployed for the first time a soybean with both herbicide tolerance and insect resistance. Very important for a country like Brazil, where insect pests are very important. In 2013, the first biotech drought-tolerant maize will be planted in the US. And more excitedly, this same technology has been donated for African countries where we expect them to be available in 2017. Golden rice will become available in 2013-2014. As you know, this is a problem that results in 6,000 people a day dying. 500,000 innocent children become permanently blind. This is a very important development. To close, let us go back to the central theme of feeding the world of tomorrow. The most important statement that I can share with you that captures the enormity of the challenge is the following. In the next 50 years, the global population will consume twice as much food as the global population has consumed since the beginning of agriculture 10,000 years ago. That is awesome. It is almost inconceivable. But the good news is that if we use conventional technology with biotechnology and good policies, we can double food production. And if we can improve food production, we can also do something else that is extremely important. We can contribute to a more peaceful world. Norman Borlaug, the Nobel Peace Prize of 1970, saved 1 billion people from hunger, and I had the opportunity of working with him for 30 years. He used to emphasize that you cannot build peace on empty stomachs, and he was right. The right to food is imperative. The only way forward is that we work together as a global team towards the mutual goal of providing more food. And if we can do that, then we will achieve a great victory. United we stand, divided we will fall.